So we are starting our live stream today with Valerie Brown, and I just want to welcome everyone who is joining us to another one of the Mindful Society's daily gatherings. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity today to spend some time with all of you, but also with a dear friend on the path of the journey of life and mindfulness, who I've known for many years now. And I can share that every time I get a chance to be with Valerie, that it is just a real gift for my own practice and a real chance to kind of touch into what the roots of our practice are, to kind of come home to myself and find some refuge. So thank you for joining us today, Valerie, and I'll hand it over to you.
Welcome, everybody. It's a delight to share this time with you. I'd like to offer like a mini talk and practices on the subject of how do we heal from fear and anxiety, especially for those of us who self-identify as Black, Indigenous, or person of color. So we know that healing is not an individual thing, right? That as we heal our ancestors, our mom, our dad, our grandparents, and we also heal our descendants. We heal our communities, we heal society, and we heal the natural world. So I'll be sharing the teachings of Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh and the Plum Village community. So Thich Nhat Hanh, or Thai teacher, as he's often called, coined the term interbeing. And that is a recognition that what happens to you affects me. And what happens to me affects you. What happens in China affects people in Italy. So the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote in a beautiful letter from the Birmingham jail about this concept of interbeing. He said, "We are caught in an indescribable network of mutuality, tied to a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly." So while I'm offering these practices and this talk specifically for those of us who might identify as Black, Indigenous, or a person of color, all of us, whatever our condition, can relate to these practices. So the impact of COVID-19 or the coronavirus is not universal. We know that the most marginalized communities, especially Black, Latinx, low-income people, immigrants, are disproportionately affected and have really been devastated by this disease. This is the result of many things, including environmental racism, segregationist economic policies, structural and systemic racism, and redlining. And that has left many of us in these communities at very high risk for chronic illness and chronic disease. While many of us have the opportunity to work from home, a huge percentage of us who identify in these marginalized communities don't have that privilege. We're in public sector jobs like transportation and food services, where we're really on the front lines. So I'd like to offer a very basic practice in the Plum Village tradition that helps us to restore a sense of calm, a way to befriend ourselves, to be on our own side, even in this time of isolation and distress. It's a practice that can help us to calm the body and have a sense of ease. So the practice is mindful breathing. So you might be saying, well, I know how to breathe already. I've been doing this quite well and quite perfectly for a very long time. But that's not the kind of breathing that I'm talking about. Um, this kind of breathing, as Thich Nhat Hanh has said, is an art form, like doing calligraphy or arranging flowers. But it's a practice that can really help us to build a kind of inner tolerance for our own distress and see through this ubiquitous act of breathing, this thing that we take for granted all day long, that we are really connected, interconnected to all beings and to the natural world. This is really alive for me right now because my own brother passed away on February 21st, and he was on a ventilator. And I witnessed his labored breathing. And so I have a newfound sense of appreciation for this in-breath and this out-breath. So this is really about a quality of awareness, a kind of awareness that's a deep knowing. You know, if you're anything like me, I kind of walk around like a walking cerebellum, like from the neck up, disembodied from the wisdom and the immediacy of my own breathing. Um, and and this is really about capturing and being present with what is happening here and now. And even when what's happening here and now is distressing. So this way of being, I really love, it was really captured by Sister D. She is a member of the Plum Village community, and she wrote this beautiful poem that I'd like to read to you. And we'll also have this in the resources at the end of this session. So you'll have a copy of this beautiful poem by Sister D. It's called Feather at Midday. She says, if I had not stopped to watch a feather flying by, I would not have seen its landing. A tiny, pure, white feather. Gently, I blew a soft breath to send it back to the spring. If I had not looked up to watch the feather gliding over the roof, I would not have seen the crescent moon hanging at midday. Sister D. So this practice of mindful breathing, mindful awareness. It helps us to be present to the feathers at midday in our lives. This is a very ancient practice that was taught by the Buddha in the Anapanasati Sutta, or the Sutra of, or Sutta of mindful breathing. And it has many steps, but I'm going to share the first four steps. And we'll go through this together. So, step one is to breathe in and to know that you're breathing in, and to breathe out and to really know that you're breathing out. So this kind of knowing is not up here in the mind like a cognitive mentalizing knowing, but it's kind of located more in the heart space, maybe the belly space. It's a deeply embodied knowing. Step two, we follow the in-breath all the way through, from the moment we feel the in-breath to the moment we feel the out-breath. And this is a practice of concentration. Again, the breath is so ubiquitous. It's said that we breathe 50,000 times a day or more, but often very unaware, staying with that in-breath. Often we're taken over by the wandering mind. So this is the practice of concentration, to follow the breath all the way through, beginning to end. Step 3, we become aware of the whole body. This is about recognizing I have a body. I am alive. I am alive. I am not alone. I have this breath. I can appreciate this breath. I can appreciate the condition of my body, whatever the shape or size. So this is the practice of gratitude. And then fourth and final is I can release the tension, to soften, to feel a sense of ease. And this is the practice of self-love and self-care. So those are the 4 steps. And I would offer a small caution to do what's right for you, to honor your body. If my instructions don't serve you, please go in the direction that's right for you. So you can take a moment to do this in any posture that is suitable for you. You can lay down, you can stand, you can sit with your feet on the floor and your back straight. So take a moment to situate yourself in a way that's comfortable for you. And maybe taking a couple of breaths in and out. And I'll be using the sound of a small bell throughout this practice. Breathing in, I am aware of my in-breath. Breathing out, I am aware of my out-breath. Aware of in-breath, aware of out-breath. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath all the way through. Breathing out, I follow my out-breath all the way through. Following the in-breath all the way through. Following the out-breath all the way through. Breathing in, I am aware of my whole body, from the top of my head all the way down to the bottom of my feet. Breathing out, I am aware of my whole body, aware of whole body as I breathe in, aware of my whole body as I breathe out. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I calm my body. Calming body as I breathe in. Calming body as I breathe out. So when you're ready, stretching in any way that feels comfortable for you, maybe moving your shoulders, your neck, the arms. So to recap these practices, the teachings from our dear teacher, Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, in the Plum Village community, you are not alone. We inter-are. There is interbeing. Mindful breathing is always with us and can help to restore a sense of calm and ease in the body and mind. We can feel gratitude for this moment, for being alive. So these are simple practices that provide a deep insight into the nature of our way of being, our interconnectedness, and can help to heal us as Black, Indigenous, or people of color, and all people. So we welcome your reflections. You can communicate in our Facebook page, and thank you for being part of this gathering. Thank you. Ellie?
Thank you for taking us through that. It's always wonderful just to be able to take refuge in your voice and in your sharings. I thought to close our practice today, I would add to this Plum Village theme that we're on today, to just share a short statement that was put out from the Plum Village community on March 2nd of this year. And the statement came from the Center in France of Plum Village, and they just offered, "May all of us as a species use this opportunity to wake up to our shared humanity, our shared vulnerability, and to nourish our compassion and tolerance, and not our fear and discrimination. So thank you for the reminders of community, for all of you joining us today. You're welcome to share your reflections and comments on the Facebook page. We're happy to hear what came up for you during this practice, what's going on for you right now. And these daily gatherings will be continuing at 10 a.m. each day. So we look forward to connecting further. While we are physically distanced, we hope to be socially connected. Thank you for joining us today.